Hey, Alessandra.
Hi.
Let's see. I'm just going to bring up an introduction thingy, and then I'm going to share my screen. And welcome to this Build with Eyer session 3. Obviously, this is the third in our series, and today we're going to talk about how you can customize alerts to avoid alert noise. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the details what we're going to do. But first of all, we've done 2 sessions already. And in the first session, Alessandra, do you mind kind of like recapping a little bit what we did?
So yes, basically this previous 2 sessions and also the session of today made use of NA10 as a workflow creators tool. The first session was devoted into fetching alerts coming out of Eyer, alerts that comes directly out of our anomaly detection engine, and that in this case are connected to our test environment, and then do a minimal filtering on these alerts. So filter with on alerts that have just a certain impact. So that we're impacting more than one resources in the case that we explore, and pipe these alerts directly into a chat service. The chat service of our example was Discord, and this was basically all that was in the first Build with Eyer, and today we are going to build more on that one. Just 2 words on the second episodes before we go back to that one. The second episode was basically building a LLM, a chatbot that was integrating with Eyer. So knew what were from using this time the Eyer API could read what were the anomalies ongoing, and you could ask questions about the anomalies ongoing on your system. And also we created interest table using another service, NoCodeDB, that is basically a no-code tool to create tables. So it's quite easy and user-friendly, and even non-technical people in your company can use it without having to know anything about coding. And we use this NoCodeDB to create an interest table, which was containing per team member what were the interests of each person. And we basically gave this information to our bot, to our LLM. And so you could ask questions like, what are the interests of Alessandra? Is there any resource that is impacted right now that can be interested for Alessandra? And so what we are going on doing today is a bit like combining the things, and we take the workflow of the first day, in which we are just basically sending out all the alerts with just minimal filtering. And we are going to add the interest table there and use the interest table to alert specific people about specific alerts in your team, in such a way that not everyone is overloaded with all the alerts, and because different team members typically are interested in different things.
Very cool. So let me stop you there a little bit. So recapping a little bit, Alessandra has now touched on the 2 first episodes, and essentially what we've done is to use data from our own Azure environment. So in this high-level AIOps protocol that we tend to use quite often. We've connected our own Azure environment or test data from our own Azure environment. We've been using Telegraph as agent collector. So essentially just doing some config to the Telegraph to fetch Azure performance data. Super easy to do, very quick to do. That is using our own Eyer credentials to pass all the performance metrics into the Eyer platform, which is essentially this observability pipeline, which has a lot of capabilities to really be able to bring insights out of very large numbers of live time series data to really to put you in a position, or to put users in a position to gain insight early with actionable insights to hopefully prevent degradation of business processes, IT systems, enterprise integration, whatever it might be, right? And I think the important thing to understand in these years is that our platform is API exposed. So you're really just feeding through our APIs, or using our APIs, webhooks, to create additional automation. And as shown here, N8N is mentioned as one integration platform, but you might also use Zapier. We're doing a little bit of work in the Boomi space. Boomi can be used. And also we are illustrating here with OpenAI, but that might as well be any other LLM in a way, right? So also from a dashboarding perspective, to not necessarily only listen to alerts, dashboards are quite often interesting, right? So you can use any kind of like open source, or doesn't have to be open source, but any visualization tool, such as Grafana, which we probably will be coming back to in a session in not too long, to also work with Grafana and show how you can easily use our default templates, apply it to your Grafana account, and get a lot of deep insights into the performance of whatever system you choose to feed into, or systems, I would guess, or data sources you want to choose to feed into our platform, right? And I'm wondering if I should just go back to sort of our agenda to just make sure we're able to keep on track. And let's see if I'm sharing screen. I'll share this tab instead. So now here's a plan for today. So you mentioned what we were doing, right? So we will be using. Are we going to use the webhook and APIs, I suppose?
Yeah. Today we are going to use the webhooks.
Cool.
To one of the webhooks, so one webhook for our example.
Yeah, we'll use N8N, but I don't think we're going to use LLM, right? In this scenario.
Not today.
We're going to do no code. Are we going to do Discord?
Yes, we can do Discord, yes.
Yeah, the Discord is a notification channel. And just to be clear, this is integration, no low code integration, and no code is basically low code DB, right? And Discord is notification channel for everyone to understand. Notifications. So what we're going to do now is actually go through these steps, right? And you already touched on what we want to achieve, right? And essentially what we built Eyer to do is to enable teams to reduce alert noise and get actionable alerts across any type of data holistically, and make sure those are triggered early to enable teams to avoid issues in the performance of their IT that essentially impacts their business. So first of all, store your interest. Extend the interest table in no code DB. You want to grab the screen and show us, and then I can help ask some stupid questions and guide you through the executable steps.
Yes, definitely. Let's do this. And there is my screen. And I think that the table that I want to use today is this one. So for the people that have seen last episodes, this is the same table that I created last time. I put our names of the team members in Eyer, and in last episode we just use a generic interest column in which there were just keywords for what we were interested in. But this time I will use another column that it will be devoted to put a keyword or expression that is contained in a node name. So this could be storage, could be again Databricks, could be webhooks, or whatever is in your system that you're interested in, and it has to appear in the name of the resource that we are monitoring. And this resource in general, in the lingo of internal to Eyer, we say that is a node. So it will have a name, so it's node name. And so it can be whatever word, code, it's in these node names. And this is a possibility. It's just something that we have seen internally that it works for our setup, but of course, one could choose other criteria to filter the alerts. And so in this case, I just added a node interest column, and I added a keyword that for the test of today is just a keyword that I'm using some test data, so I know that this keyword is present there. And then you, since we are using Discord, I'm using my user ID. Username, which should be user ID, but I put username now for the moment. Is a user ID that is on Discord, and if you go on Discord, if you go on Discord, it's basically available for you. Let me see if it's here. It's available for you. I don't remember. You have to be in developer mode, and you can find it here, copy user ID. So this is my user ID. And you can find it for every user in Discord. So I copied it and put it here. Okay, this is our NoCodeDB setup. And as I said, this is very friendly. Everyone in your company can go in there and add their own interest in the node interest here.
And just for the principle here, I mean, this might have been a different notification channel. It could be Teams, it could be Slack, it could be ServiceNow, it could be SMS for that sake, as long as you have a channel to get it out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it will be just a matter of if you use NA10, as we are doing today, to give different authentication for the different services. Maybe use a different node. If you use Gmail, there are a lot of nodes available in NA10. And of course, to look up how basically to tag a person, or today I'm going for the option of tagging a person, but you could send a direct message for a person just with the alert that is interesting. Just a side note, I prefer the option of tagging a person in a channel, because so this person goes in the channel and can also see what is going on at the same time on other nodes in that same channel.
But before you move on now, so I mean, we have you're setting up NA10 and you're using some logic in NA10, and you're listening into the webhooks with alerts coming from Eyer, and you have a database essentially, which is NoCodeDB, where you have this interest table, which kind of like opens a little bit of introduction of what we might do in next sessions, right? So now you're only kind of like scratching the surface of what can be done with context on top of the alerts provided by Eyer, right? And I guess we have been discussing internally what else we can do, and we are building out everything from deployment logs to enrich the alerts. It could be knowledge bases or previous remediation or post-mortem knowledge base that will allow you to suggest maybe how something can be more easily resolved and what steps should be taken, or potentially even automated based on making insights and context available into alerts that have maybe happened before, right?
Yes, exactly. And also today we are seeing like a kind of fixed workflow process in which every step is kind of user defined, but you can reuse these things with integrating LLM and let the LLM take the decisions for you or to alert. So this is like kind of a first step, but as for many use cases, this like pager-like solution is what someone needs. And
okay, sorry.
Yes, so maybe we can go into the building part of the day. And as I said, you see, I took here build AIOps with Eyer #1. So it's the full workflow that we created the first day. And let me quickly duplicate it and call #3. And so this is our workflow. As I said, we use the webhook. You can see the first one to see how to create a webhook. Here I already prepared my test data. So we don't actually have to sit here and wait for some alert to happen. And then, as I said, here we did some filtering. It's to just filter alerts that have impacted like several metrics and several nodes. And here I added a step in which I've been basically just cleaning and select the fields that I'm using. I use Python in my case, but other thing can be done. But I use Python just to create and edit a bit the message that I wanted to get out, and then Discord to basically send the text that I created. So just to see, we can test the workflow. Sorry, probably it's I have to is it this one, the step? Yes, I have to filter a bit lower. So and that's we have here in the test channel, the alert have been sent. And as you see now, here no one is tagged. I'm not at the attention of no one, but what we want to achieve today is to add a tag here that is in the case of today, tag me. Something like you see up here, and I'm tagged. So let's go back to build. And first of all, we want to add NoCodeDB, get many rows, and then I already prepared the credential here, so it knows already where to connect. It's a test, so I'm getting all the test resources, an interest table, return all. Then we can test this step. And you see, here is the table that I showed you before. Now I just copy this thing just to be quick. Here I just added a quick Python step in which basically in the assumption that several people might have the same interest or the same keyword that they are interested in. So basically this step is just gathering for each keyword is gathering all the users that are interested in that keyword. In this case, it will be just one keyword and my user ID.
Right.
And let me just give myself a bit more space here. Put some steps. And now I'm just combining quickly with a merge, combining the two branches. Open. Yes, and that is, I forgot to input the second one. And then here we have an item with whatever came out of our webhook, plus this interest, that is this one. I'm interested in the word private, and it's only me in this example, but you can add other users. And now we go here, and basically we want to pass also this interest thing. So now I just created something cleaner. I just select, this is just to filter out the fields that I'm interested. It's not like 100% necessary, but it's I like to clean up the things for later steps.
Mm-hmm.
Here it was the one that I showed you before, and yeah, here there's no tags, but I prepared it before because otherwise I'm spending probably all day rewriting it, and then I can show you what are the things that I've added with respect to last time. Basically what I added is that I for each item, and in this case it's just one, I'm taking this interest dictionary, and for each interest, so I scan it here and I select all the interests that are present or not present in this alert. And if one interest is present in this alert, I just add the tags of all the users. So then I will add tags for all the users that are interested in this alert. So if I go out and test this step, you see that basically to all this was to add this @ and then my user ID. And this is, of course, this is specific to Discord. But if you're doing another channel, you have just to change probably a tiny bit the message. And then we are at the last step. And if we did everything correctly, this time you would see me appearing here. Yay!
So cool. Again, in a way, that really concludes the purpose of today, right? So now we've shown how easy it is to really, without, I would say, pretty little coding skills. And I guess some of the Python stuff you've done can be done perhaps in different ways, in no code, low code, instead of necessarily coding that hard. But it's super easy to tap into that kind of alerting we have, at least in Eyer, based on the JSON structure and the APIs, and build out, let's say, focused alerts that's relevant for different people by really just adding labels or interests or names, whatever that's they are interested in. And that could be, well, at least in our APIs and a JSON structure, that could be node names, it could be It could be, for example, I guess type of metric. It could be latency. It could be, I suppose, also if you have business naming or labeling in the nodes, then you could probably also fetch, for example, I want my ERP, I want my e-commerce processes, I want, So there's a lot of opportunities here to focus alerts towards what you're interested in, either as a DevOps, SRE, ITOps, potentially also a business or line of business application owner to get insights that could make your day better, I would suppose.
Yes, and as you mentioned, I use Python because I'm a Python girl, but this could be possibly achieved just using maybe you have to use 3-4 nodes instead of like just one code node. But definitely everyone can achieve that. And just to mention, if you use an NICAM, that is just your choice, and it's just one of the choices. You can use also JavaScript if you are more.
Cool. Is there anything else we should cover today, or is that, I guess it really concludes this session, and next time we're going to go deeper. So I mentioned this from the beginning, so we'll probably go into Grafana dashboards, visualizing how you can surface insight that is relevant for you and avoid noisy alerts and noisy insights. And the second thing we were planning to do was to continue building out the context for alerts with different kind of sources that can enable you to get even more insights as an ITOps or SRE or DevOps to allow you to get better insights faster, essentially, across a broader set of data sources.
Yeah.
Yep. And we did that in 27 minutes, and we were targeting 30 minutes, which is pretty good. And thank you, Alessandro, and see you again next week for this session.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.